All right, everybody, we are live from Dr. Kush's Exotic Drink Bar. A lot of us are going through a Kyle hangover currently. Kyle also going through a regular hangover. He had a big night last night. Hopefully you were all able to see it. This is my writer garb. I'll do with this. Yeah, let's all say hello to Tammy. Tammy, whose birthday it was yesterday. Welcome to the party, Tammy. There we go. Happy birthday, Tammy, from Kyle Tender, Tammy's #1 fan. Kyle Tender showed up to take Tammy's place for the night. There is no replacing Tammy, but Kyle did show up. He is still looking for that signature or for that autograph. So that is good. Jay Carter, Party Starter, is in the house tonight, thanking us very much for the show last night. Last night was rough. Let's not say rough. Last night was an awful lot of fun. We missed Tammy, of course, but it was nice to have Kyle Tender finally showed up. There we go. Paper, giving a big happy birthday over to Tam Tam. Glenn, giving a big happy. And Tammy, thank you for all the birthday wishes. There we go. The new bromance everybody's talking about. I believe I just saw this in all the British tabloids. Paper and Jay Carter, Party Starter. I don't know what their deal is, but they are all anybody's talking about these days. Paper and Jay Carter, Party Starter. That is the new thing to be. So if you can do that, Kyle, last night was amazing. And Jay Carter, one more happy birthday to Tammy. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of happy birthdays to Tammy. Happy birthday, Tammy, to my very favorite co-host of all time. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, I host a show with Tammy Friday nights, 5 o'clock, Mix Cocktail Hour on YouTube. You can also find us on platforms like Tubi, like IMDb TV, like Roku. Hopefully Mix Cocktail Hour will jump in here and let everybody know the rest of those. Tammy sending us all the emojis. So thank you, Tam. Thanks for showing up, and so happy to have you in here today. Oh, Jen, who watched the show last night, sending the emoji. We're having a little emoji war going on between Tam Tam and my wife. That's pretty fun. Danny Vasquez, famous Danny Vasquez from the television, saying he thought Kyle Tender did a pretty good job last night. I think he did a pretty good job last night, too. Even on her birthday. Was that her birthday? Let's see. Sorry, one sec. There we go. Even on her birthday, Deidre comes in. Deidre's birthday, I believe, is always one day. Cozy Mama's birthday, always one day after Tammy's. I think that's how that works. Paul Bellinardo, like many people, is calling for Kyle Tender to show up on Saturday nights. Kyle Tender shows up every Saturday night. He shows up to my house, hangs out for a while, drinks the drinks, cleans the glasses. He is the greatest. Let's get to what we are doing tonight, though. I know that we are going from a big-time Hollywood star, Kyle Tender, apparently last night, right into books. But I will just give you guys a little information on who I am and what I come from. I was a comparative literature major in college. Theater and comparative literature is what I studied, which is why I'm a bartender, it turns out. And so I wanted to give a little tip of the hat. I've done movies before. I have done specific actors before. I've done specific bartenders before. I wanted to get into the world of books tonight, and that is what I have done. So I have picked 3 books that I have right here. Each of these will have something to do with these books, and let's make some cocktails out of them. Now, the first one we are going to be making is, of course, going to be a book that was eventually turned. I think 2 of these have been turned into movies. The last one has not been turned into a movie, and honestly, maybe shouldn't ever be turned into a movie because it is great. But some of these needed to be turned in to movies, and the first one is no exception. We are going to be making a drink from this guy right here. Oh, I have a 3rd footstep right now, so we can get right in here. Oh, dang, that's not helpful. Let's go over to Toolcam instead. There we go. This is a book by a man named Ian Fleming, For Your Eyes Only. This is a collection of short stories by a man named Ian Fleming. And that man wrote and created a man named James Bond. So I just want to read you a quick passage from this. I know that I'll never live up to what Kyle Tender did last night, me sitting here reading, and Kyle just being the Marcel Marceau of cocktail making. But basically what has happened in this chapter at this point is Bond has been given a person to meet in a cafe. So Bond is who we're talking about. Bond had been told to look for a man with a heavy mustache who would be sitting by himself drinking an Alexandra. That's what we're making. Bond had been amused by the secret the secret recognition signal. The creamy feminine drink was so much cleverer than the folded newspaper, the flower in the buttonhole. It's funny because it stops at buttonhole and it looks like flower in the butt. That's my level of comedy. The yellow gloves that were the Ori, the slipshod calls between agents. It had been the great merit of being able to operate alone without its owner. So basically what is happening in this chapter of the short story Risico, from For Your Eyes Only, the short story, is basically what has happened is Bond has been given a man to meet, and he says, you will meet a man that is drinking a drink called an Alexandra. Now, that is a different name for a cocktail called the Brandy Alexander. My goodness, the Brandy Alexander. Super brain fart there. The Brandy Alexander. So we are going to be making for the first drink a James Bond Brandy Alexander. I've had calls for this drink before, mostly Todd, who I think that you guys have seen in the comments every once in a while, has definitely called for the Brandy Alexander. Today we will be making that. Again, let me introduce you to one more tool cam that I have here. Oh, there we go. I got to get the thing right. This is going to be called Beauty Cam. I will be getting a better camera for it. Just a touch out of focus. I'm supposed to be out of focus. The drink's supposed to be in focus. We'll get there. We have a lot of announcements tonight for the show, what we think is going to be happening in the future. But let's begin to make our drink called the Brandy Alexander. That way, if you ever need to meet a spy and you have a thick mustache, there's a good chance that James Bond will find you. Let's reach back here and first of all find the brandy that I definitely brought into the room moments before the show and then lost. So there it is. We'll be using this guy right here, the E&J brandy. This is just some pretty run-of-the-mill cheap brandy, but we're going to be adding so many flavors to this that it doesn't really matter. Tammy is loving my Harry Potter scarf. Thank you, Tam Tam. This is how, when I sit down to write my novel, this is what I put on. Makes me feel like a writer. Let's hit this real quick, guys, with a quick 2 ounces of brandy. Something not, it doesn't have to be great. We are going to put, like I said, 2 major other flavors in this. So worry not, fret not about going too deep into your brandy collection. I would stay away from the cognacs of the world. This should do you just fine. Next thing we want to put in here is going to be some cacao. We're going to try and find some cacao. Now, I will be using, let's see, I think I have a better cacao back here. I do. There we go. I have some Giffard cacao right here. Oh, I'm going to have to get used to the 3 cameras now. There we go. This is some Giffard cacao. This is a cocoa flavored liqueur. It is spectacular. I'm going with the white cacao. You can go either white or dark with this. Listen, you're not going to hurt my feelings, and I believe that as long as you are drinking this drink at the bar, Bond will find you. Hit that with a full ounce. I do have these guys ready for you. Forgot about those last week. I wrote them out, and then I forgot to put them in the show. As I was editing it, I said, well, what the hell's happened? Put this away. There we go. So we have brandy, 2 ounces. We have 1 ounce of delicious cacao rocking our faces off. Next thing we need is some heavy cream. I am going to start putting more and more of my drink things into this. I have thousands of these guys. That's not really a show announcement or anything. That's just what I'll be doing. We're gonna hit that with a full ounce of heavy cream. Heavy cream. Now that is the drink. Pretty easy peasy, pretty simple dimples. Let's give this a shake and let's give this its proper trip in its thing. I'll be using the bag of ice for this. Not crazy necessary to use all the good ice for that. We have some good ice cocktails coming up. Boosh. That's funny. Just real quick, my dad says he thinks that the Great Gatsby is all about the necktie. We will be doing a Great Gatsby cocktail. I did not talk to my dad before this, but he did know what we're hitting that. Let's go ahead and give this a big shake. Here we go. We want to shake this one extra hard. We do want a lot of this ice to break up, so hit it real hard. There we go. Let's hit that on beauty cam real quick. There we go. Perfect. We are going to reach down here and we're going to grab, of course, what else would somebody that we are meeting for the first time in a crazy bar, what would they be drinking out of? Well, they'd be drinking out of a martini glass. That is what we will be drinking out of tonight on this one. This is a baby martini glass, a nice and small one. We are going to throw on our Hawthorne strainer. Ooh, Hawthorne strainer. There it is. And we're going to go full open gate, not just closed, but full open. So we want a lot of ice in here. So pull your Hawthorne strainer back as you're making this, so you are getting some of the clunks of the ice dropping in there. You do want little shards of ice floating in your cocktail. There we go. We have this guy right here. This is the Alexandra, or the Brandy Alexandra, from the James Bond short story by Ian Fleming. I did see somebody asked up here, is Fleming even literature? It's a book. It is a book. So I'm counting it as literature. That's my dad asking that. My dad also a comparative literature major in college. Like father, like son. He went out and got a real job. I went out and got a fun job. And that is how we differ there. Let's go ahead and give this just a dash of nutmeg. Let's get a whole nutmeg here on top. Just a dash of nutmeg should help you out a ton with this drink, just to give it a little extra flavor, a little extra spice, only on 1/2. There we go. So that when you are drinking this cocktail, just the 1/2 has the nutmeg on it. That way you're not choking down nutmeg like a nut. And the last thing that we need, of course, if we are going to be if we're going to be meeting James Bond, he needs us to have a mustache. I have this guy right here. This is my mustache stirrer. So just in case James Bond needs to find me, I am that spy. I am the James Bond spy. This is, of course, the Brandy Alexander from Riosco, from the short story Riosco. Hope you guys enjoy this. It is a fairly simple cocktail, but has a lot of flavor. Make sure you don't skimp on that brandy. You might even go 2.5 ounces on this. I know that my friend, the Apostle of Tiki, is always very upset when I don't put in the full 2 ounces with a tiki pour. So there we go. Let's drink this and go at it. I, of course, have to move my... There we go. Oh, my God. I have a feeling Kyle Tender's going to love that one. It's going to be nice and thick in his belly. Kyle has, just so you guys know, Kyle and I went out right afterwards and had margaritas at a place in Santa Monica. I just wanted to thank him so much for coming onto the show. So Kyle had a big night last night. I'm going to bring Kyle in here real quick to grab his drink, and let's look through some of these comments. Let's go through there. Apostle Tiki laughing all about that show last night. Really, really funny. Yes, Tammy is supposed to do a Saturday night appearance. That is for sure. We need to get Tammy over to Dr. Cush's Tiki Bar ASAP. Here come those famous gloves that everybody loves. Yeah. Oh, he's doing jazz hands now with the gloves. You got that, buddy? Please don't trip. Yeah. It's all right. It's just a little milk on the floor. No big deal. You can get that later. Yeah. Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And that's fine. I'll get it later, buddy. You can go in front of the camera if you want. No, you good? Okay. Very, very hungover. Let's just see. Let's pray, sing a little Kyle's praise. Oh, I can put this down. A great physical comedy. Mixed Cocktail Hour is here. This show is going to be lit to richer, says Paper. One half of Jay Carter, Party Starter, and Paper. Abby Taylor saying when you put a flower in your buttonhole, that is one way to make it smell better. I agree. Kyle definitely didn't shut the door, so I can definitely hear what's going on out there. No big deal. He spilled a bunch of milk on the floor too. There he goes. What? You don't? We'll get it later. Okay. He is truly a bar bag. He truly is a bar bag. Hi, Keith. How are you, buddy? Let's just get a few of these out. I wish you'd make every drink I drink. Yeah, Danny says he wished I'd make every drink he drinks. Thank you, buddy. Tammy pulling out Kyle Tender's favorite moment from last night too, which was, of course, when he put the strainer on top of the cup instead of in the glass. There we go. Perfect. All right, we have read. Oh, Dale Martin. Let's go, Dale Martin. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Dale, one of my very favorite bartenders I've ever worked with in my life. He worked with me at the Queensberry. Very, very talented guy. I believe he got married recently. So I want to say congratulations to everybody. Yeah, everybody giving Dale his proper shrift. He is a great guy. Dale, if you could, text me, let me know where you're at. I'd love to come see you at some point. Let's get into our next two cocktails. Our next cocktail is going to be, Glenn called it. It is going to be from a book that is called, oh, dang, I got to get, there it is, The Great Gatsby. Now, we won't be making a cocktail necessarily from The Great Gatsby. Instead, I will be making a drink based on one of my favorite drinks of all time. I think a lot of you guys know it. Oh, just real quick as we're getting into it. Mixed Cocktail Hour is letting us know that it did take them 30 minutes to clean up after Kyle Tender left. And Kyle Tender was not going to bar back last night. He was a star. He was famous, as he kept saying. And real quick, Rich wants to know what Kyle's rating is. I think that'll be funny to have a finger rating of the drinks. So, Rich, thank you so much. There we go. Let's make this next drink. This is based on one of my very favorite cocktails of all time. It is called the Hemingway Daiquiri. But one of my favorite stories about Hemingway was when he was living in Paris, and he was hanging out with a dude named F. Scott Fitzgerald, two American novelists just doing their thing at a little place called the Café du Magot. Now, it means the Cafe of Two Maggots. I'm not sure how that place is still in business. It is, at least when I was last there, 14 years ago. There's a good chance it's gone now. Anyway, Hemingway, big burly dude, big beard, fought bulls. He was hanging out with little F. Scott Fitzgerald, about yay big. and not a bullfighter in any shape. He's just not a bullfighter. But he did go ahead and get drunk. He would get drunk. And when he got drunk, he got passionate. And he would start to fight people in this bar. Anyway, the first thing he would do is he would run behind Hemingway. And he would say, Papa, go beat that guy up for me. I'm sure that Hemingway did that. So I wanted to make, if Hemingway has his own daiquiri, I wanted to make a daiquiri just for F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I think I have done that. Let me just bring up my notes real quick. There we go. So let's begin to make this cocktail. It is a daiquiri style cocktail. It does have some elements of what the Hemingway daiquiri is, but I do believe that while it seems like it might be as tough as the Hemingway daiquiri, it is not as tough as the Hemingway daiquiri. It is, while it may have all the same flavors and feelings and thoughts floating around ethereally, it just isn't. So let's begin to build it. We're going to start off now in the Hemingway daiquiri. There is nothing but rum. Instead, we are going to be hitting this guy right here. This is the Martin Miller gin. Dale Martin's in the house. So Martin, it works. It's almost like I planned it. We are going to be hitting this with 1.25 ounces of a gin. So if you have a 750, if you have a 750 and a 50, you're going to hit it with each one of those sides. Go ahead and, or 75 and a 50, go ahead and hit that with your gin. You're looking for something that a nice dry gin will work, but I would instead grab something a little closer to the Martin Miller's, the Icelandic gin. Just a little bit more sweetness, just a little bit more ness to it. We're going to reach down here and grab my ridiculously large bottle. Been out of work for a while. We're going to grab my ridiculously large bottle of Backbay. Hit that with 3/4 of an ounce. There we go. Perfect. I, of course, have this all written out, too. There we go. So we have 1.25 ounces of gin. We have 3/4 ounces of the other stuff. Rum. You've heard of it. It's called rum. It's delicious. Next thing we want to hit this with is going to be some lime. So I'm going to reach back here and grab a lime. Now, I don't know if Lisa is watching, but this is for Lisa. We'll be putting out the cutting board and slicing this guy right here. Slice that in half and grab your elbow. We're looking for half of an ounce. Oh, half of an ounce of this lime. So squeeze that guy in there. Oh, that first part of the lime really missed a lot of it. Suppose that happens. Next one we're going to hit nice and slow. Oh, yeah, that's going to hit all the way up to half an ounce. Perfect. And dump that in. That is the daiquiri part of this, but we need to get a little deeper into it. Of course, the Hemingway daiquiri has some grapefruit juice in it. We are not leaving that out. We are going to get our grapefruit on, and we're going to be doing just half an ounce of that as well. We're going to be pulling that a little bit back from my favorite recipe of the Hemingway. So bring that back just a touch. Throw her in there. Next thing we want to put in is a little bit of a sweetener. The sweetener we're throwing in here is going to be some pineapple. Pineapple going in at 3/4 of an ounce. Bam. 3/4 of an ounce of pineapple. Now, Hemingway's drinks were always very strong, so instead of adding like a coconut syrup or a coconut whatever, for F. Scott's daiquiri, I wanted to throw in a coconut rum. This is going to be a bit more tropical, a bit more bougie than a normal daiquiri. So go ahead and hit that with half of an ounce of coconut rum. Now, this stuff is, if you have not had this Rum Haven stuff, here, let's put it on Beauty Cam. There we go. It doesn't matter. Beautycam's too bright. If you've not had this Rum Haven stuff, it really is something special. Find it. They are not sponsoring me yet, but the moment they do, I will let you know so that I can give them a proper commercial. This does need to have a touch of sweetness added to it, so we're going to be doing that in the form of simple syrup. Hit that with just below a ½ ounce of simple syrup. Right there. And the last part of this that we're doing is going to be some apple cider vinegar. Why apple cider vinegar, Kush? Well, from that story, the thing that I pulled most from it is that F. Scott Fitzgerald really believed that he was the strongest dude out there, but in the end was not. He needed something else. So the liquor in here is going to be our Big Papa, our Hemingway. The ACV, the apple cider vinegar, is going to be the F. Scott Fitzgerald believing that he is the beast. You'll definitely taste some apple cider vinegar if you hit it with a ½ ounce or maybe just a touch more than a ½ ounce. That is the way to do it, I think. That's how I think. You can go up and down on that apple cider vinegar depending on how ACV-esque you want it. Dang, you know what I don't have is I have a whole light that goes behind me. I was wondering why it looked so dark. Oh well, it's going to happen. Let's give this a shake. Here we go. Give that a big old bunch of ice, as much as you can. And let's give this the shake that it deserves. Imagine that you're in the Café du Magot. You are a famous American writer, expat. You're trying to fight somebody. That's how hard we want to shake this. We do want this to be nice and icy. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oosh. There we go. There we have it. Let's put this up in a glass that our boy would drink from. There we go. Oh, Rich is saying, oh, Rich, that is a great point. Rich is saying on screen it is a different recipe. That is a great observation. Just so you guys know, I do tinker with these until the very last minute. So listen to what I say, not what is written on screen. Yes, if that is the case, I'm sorry, Rich. Yes, I tinkered with this last second. I felt it didn't have enough sweetness. I felt like the pineapple. Oh, did I not throw pineapple juice in there? That's a good point. I did throw pineapple. Can somebody in the chat let me know if I threw pineapple in here or not? I don't remember. This is why we put our least expensive ingredients in first and taste all along the way. I think I put pineapple in here. Yeah. Jen is saying that is confusing. Okay, Tammy is saying, yes, I did put pineapple in it. So I did make the pineapple. I added a touch of simple syrup as well. Thank you. Okay, Tim is saying yes. So is Danny. Yeah, Abby. Okay, so I did get the pineapple in. Thank you, guys. Yes, simple syrup was not originally called for in this cocktail, but at the last minute, I decided it needed to be in there. The cocktail was not strong enough, or was not sweet enough. It not even sweet enough. It just didn't have everything I needed in there. There just wasn't. Oh, is the grapefruit not on there? Yeah, just listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna take that off now. Listen to what I'm saying, and don't listen to what I'm writing. It's not great for the thing about books. Oh well. Glenn's saying, my goodness, Glenn is killing it tonight. He's saying, I did not put in Zacapa, but I am putting Zacapa in the next drink. It's almost like we talked to each other right before the show. Now, I want to give this one, since there is no real There is no real. This is not from one of his books, so I don't. Whatever. This is just about F. Scott Fitzgerald, who was very famous for writing books. I want to give this just a little book garnish. So I'm taking a lemon right here. There we go. Taking a lemon right here. I'm going to slice this off so that we have a very nice, clean sides on both of this. Perfect. We're going to fold this in half and give us a little slice right here down the middle. And for F. Scott Fitzgerald and him writing one of the classic American novels, I've given him just a little book on the side. It lies open so that hopefully he will continue to write wherever he is. He's dead. So if he's writing at this point, that's crazy. That's going to be great. There we go. Yeah, Jen saying, way to keep him on his toes, Rich. Thank you, Rich. Yes, honestly, I literally had no idea that anybody made these along with me anymore. I figured people were just watching to see how badly I messed up, and then I assume that there's some sort of subreddit for Kush Tender mistakes, and you guys just all get on there and talk about me later. That's what I assumed the show was, but it's good to know that Rich is still making these cocktails. Thank you, Rich. Sorry about that. I will put the real recipe underneath. That is a spectacular cocktail. Now, of course, I did invent it, so I have to think. There we go. Timothy saying that makes him want to fight with Hemingway. For those of you who don't know who Timothy is twice my size, 3 times my width, and is also a history professor. Used to be a door guy at one of the craziest bars I've ever worked at. And he will beat you up. So I assume that if Hemingway's bones are not buried tight enough, Timothy's going to punch them at this point. So don't drink too many of these, Tim. We love you, buddy. It's Tim's laugh. That's how he laughs. He's got the greatest laugh. Okay, let's bring in Kyle in here. Let me chat with a few of you guys in between and go from there. Yes. Keith has put in the subreddit Kush. What is it? Kush Tender Happy Accidents. Yes, that is. We should start that. If somebody wants to mod that for me, let me know. I probably could mod it. I don't know what else I'm doing the rest of the week. This is nice and bright. It seems stronger than it is. There are those. You got to come a little farther. Yeah, there you go. Trust me, I can see. Oh. All right. Well. Kyle will let me know. There we go. Hide that. What is Chiron, says Jen. I don't know what that is. Oh, is Kyle in charge of the Chiron? The Chiron is the no. Kyle is not in charge of the Chiron. That's the thing that shows up here. No, I'm in charge of that. That is the case there. Timothy saying he is very flattered. Pretty damn good, says Paul. Paul makes most of these cocktails, so that is a grace. That's great. Deidre asked me to name that bar. The name of that bar was the Association. I know some of you came to see me at the Association early, but you were not there to throw people out late. That is when Tim came through and started beating up Hemingways. Yeah, there's Tim. Tim is naming it. He's saying it out loud. Chiron is an electronically generated caption. There we go. And now we all know. Learning something. Abby Taylor gets it right. Do as I say, do as I do, not as I say. Do as I say, not as I do. I did the thing. Do as I say and do. Do not do as I wrote. That is how that works. Timothy was wondering about this. Rich missed the pineapple. I added grapefruit. Yeah, hit that grapefruit for sure. Okay, great. Okay, so there's a lot going on. Yeah, this is confusing. Sorry about that, guys. Normally, I'll be a little better about last time. That one had a very last minute situation. I just had to change it. It just wasn't good. It was fine. It just wasn't good. I wanted you guys to have a great cocktail. So let's get that going. Windy, the Association sang the song Windy. That is true. I also worked at a bar called the Association, and it blew. Just kidding. That place was great. I don't know if I'll be going back though. I don't know. That's fun news. Let's real quick, guys. I always appreciate you guys showing up to my classes. These classes will always remain free. But if you can help out the chat or you can help out the class, this is the way to do it. Venmo over here. That would be the way to do it. I'm seeing there is some talk in the chat about Kush with glasses and no beard. I assume Tammy is showing a picture of me somehow. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we met Kush at the association. Yes, you did, Mix. You did meet me at the association. It was good for that. It will be good again. I just don't know what hand I will play in it. So we will figure that out. Okay. Just also real quick, guys, I'm thinking about a format change for these classes. I did hear from some of you. Some of you are, turns out, on the East Coast right now. And I know some of you are on the West Coast right now. And that makes it hard. I want to continue these classes to be a virtual bar where we can all meet up and hang out. So I was thinking about doing 2 classes a week, shortening them just a touch so that they are maybe 2 drinks, and maybe doing one on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. That is 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and Thursday at 7 o'clock. That is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Glenn claiming he is on no coast. That is true. He lives in the wondrous land of Arizona, where they don't have daylight savings time. So this will change for him constantly. Let me know if that would be something you guys be interested in. Maybe shorter classes during the week. Maybe taking a smaller deep dive into either one cocktail or switching it into 2 cocktails. Let me know if that's interesting, or if you guys just want to keep meeting out here for 45 minutes to an hour and talking about 3 cocktails. Oh, well, we can keep talking about that later. That's just a thought that I was having today. I want to make these as easy and as good for everybody else as possible. Jen is saying, or maybe just twice a year. These classes are a little tough on Jen. So maybe just twice a year we'll do them. I would say attack that person and tell her that you want me at least 3 times a year. But that's how that goes. Maybe 2 times a week instead of just the once a week. Let me know how that strikes you guys. Let's begin to build our next cocktail. And of course, I'm going to give Glenn a second. I have picked. I'm going to give you guys all a second. If you guys have talked to me about books ever, but you have an idea of who this next book is by. He is my favorite author. I'll give you guys a second to let you know, and then we will go into the book itself. Anybody? Sundays at 5 p.m. would also work for. Sundays would work for Paul. Let me know if that works. Yeah, Glenn got it. This is a book by Mr. Kurt Vonnegut. This is probably my sleeper favorite novel of his. It is not everybody's favorite novel. Most people love Sirens of Titan, Slaughterhouse-Five. Some people like Cat's Cradle. Some people like God Bless You, Dr. Kevorkian, Man Without a Country. A lot of people like a lot of Kurt Vonnegut books. This, however, is one of my very favorites. This is about a millionaire, maybe even a billionaire in today's money, quits his job in order to try and create a utopia by taking the money that he has and giving it out, and how hard that is to actually do. It is Vonnegut's real look into exactly how socialism might work and might not work. But what I like most about it is there is the first ever appearance by a man named Kilgore Trout. Kilgore Trout was Vonnegut's alter ego, Really interesting guy. He is how Vonnegut saw himself. He is a pulp science fiction writer. Kilgore Trout wrote all kinds of crazy novels that we never actually saw, but we heard all about them, and they were wonderful. Anyway, he shows up for the first time in a book called God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. So I wanted to create a cocktail. Now, we can all argue about how this next cocktail tastes. I will argue with you. Oh, dang, I don't have my stir. We'll stir it in this. We can all argue about how this next one tastes. But the idea that I was going for, I wanted a cocktail that tasted like one of my favorite places in the entire world, which was the University of Southern California's book stack. Underneath the main student library, there is about five stories down in a very dank library. That is where I actually read this book for the first time. And, you know, at that point, you're learning all kinds of other stuff. I was reading books. I was reading 5 novels a week because I was a comparative literature major. I took this one in just to read for pleasure at that point. And so I remember this novel very well, and the smells and the taste that I was having. So I want to try and create that. So let's begin with that. My father called for it earlier. We will be using Ron Zacapa. We want an aged rum to be tossed into this. This is the Solera 23 year. Sorry, Kyle is only giving each of these one glove. Kyle's not crazy about the drinks tonight. That's fine. That's fine. But just in case anybody was wondering what the glove system was, how the glove system was going, it's poorly so far. Poorly. Let's hit this at 1.5 ounces of an aged rum, something that has a little bit of wood to it. I'm also, since I have this out already, I'm going to hit this with 1/2 ounce of a rum Agricole. I want that rubber. That's the thing that reminds me most about the book stacks, was the age of the books, the dust, etc., and the rubber from the bindings, the glue from the bindings that is going harder and faster, that is leaving us quickly. Next ingredient we're going to put in here is going to be some pineapple. I did need some sweetness. Oh, let's hit it up here. Is going to be some pineapple, is going to be some sweetness. I hope I didn't change this one last second too. I think I did, actually. Oh, dang. 1 sec. No, I think I got it. Yeah. There we go. So we have that in here. Next thing I want to put in here, we're going to be splitting these next ingredients up just a touch, a few ways. Oh, I didn't put rose water in there. Oh, I did put rose water in there. Great. This is vanilla simple syrup that I have made. It is just simple syrup that has some vanilla bean that has been boiled into it. There is a sweet aspect of this drink that I needed to have in here. I do believe that book stacks have a wonderful sweet smell to them, but vanilla isn't just saccharine sweet. It also has, like I said, some wood, some other ness to them. There we go. Throw that out here. Perfect. Next ingredient we're going to be putting in here is going to be the rose water. Now, this really just came to be because the name of the book was God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. I have rose water. So I changed it to God Bless You, Vanilla Rose Water. So we're going to be putting in, how many dashes did I put? 5. We've changed that since to be 10 dashes of vanilla rose, or of rose water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dashes of rose water. The rose wasn't coming through when I first made this cocktail. So bring that in. Bring that into you and drive that into your belly. There we go. And then we need some smoked salt. Now, I don't have smoked salt on me. Instead, I'm going to be putting a dash of salt and then smoking this whole cocktail. If you have smoked salt, that should give you about the same effect. But I do not have any smoked salt on me, so I'm just going to be putting in some of this salt. We are looking for a touch more than a pinch. Does that make sense? Touch more than a pinch. Get that in there. Get all that salt off of there. The salt, of course, is going to be bringing extra flavors, extra thoughts and feelings into our cocktail by bringing out all of the other flavors that are in there. So hopefully your cocktail does not come out tasting salty. Hopefully your cocktail instead comes out tasting like all of the other ingredients. Let's grab a glass to throw this into. Throw it into this guy. We are going to be using one large ice cube on this. So I'll be reaching into the vault and finding one large ice cube. I will, of course, throw my face onto that cube because otherwise, you know, I may never see it again. That is my face. So let's go ahead and put the face. That'll that work? How do you fit in there? I measured all of these so they fit. This one's frozen, Phil. Just gonna chip away to touch of ice. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be melting just a touch of my face on top of this cocktail while we pour the rest of this in, and then we will stir to get our cocktail ready. There we go. My face is now on. That's Rich. I will answer your question right after that. That is a great question to ask. I will answer that in just a moment. Let's now smoke this cocktail. I brought this out last week. I haven't put it away yet. You guys all remember that class where I was doing marijuana cocktails? Well, this is still out here from that. So if we are going to have it out, we might as well smoke a cocktail. I don't think that anything smells quite like a book stack, more so than a cigar. And I think that this has a lot of cigar-ness going to it. You know what I didn't even check to see if I had was a lighter. Oh, I do. I do. So here we go. Let's smoke this bad boy up. Let's get it so everybody can see it. There we go. All right, we are going to let this sit here for a minute while I do the super pro way of putting fires out. Let's cap that off. There we go. I should put it off. No. How do you turn off? How do you put a fire out? There we go. That should do it. Let's go ahead and let this guy sit here in the smoke heaven for a minute while we all think about our very favorite cocktails. Rich has asked, how do you decide which glassware to use? Rich, there are a few different ways to decide that. One of them is going to be, do you want ice in your cocktail or not? If you want ice in your cocktail, if your cocktail can handle just a little bit of watering down over time, then you want to throw it into a glass, a low glass, like either a tall glass or a low ball glass, a high ball or a low ball. If you don't want to have any ice in your glass, then go ahead and throw that up into a Kyle takes all my drinks into a stem glassware. That way you can hold it down there. Beyond that, dude, it is really all about what you think the glassware needs. I've seen a lot of wonderful cocktails served in fish bowls. So you decide at that point what you want. It really, the same way with garnish, it is just going to be a personal preference. Tim is sad that he missed cannabis show. All of my shows are available on youtube.com/kushtender. You can find them all there. Go back and watch it, Tim. Love to have it. Love to have the views. This is the God Bless You Mr. Rose, or the God Bless You Vanilla Rose Water. It is going to be smoky. And if anybody was able to make this, I think that you will find this tastes very much like what a book stack smells like. The first time I read one of my favorite novels was in a book stack, and that is that. Yeah. I'm going to let you know the drink tastes just a touch old, but that's what it's supposed to. That's what it's supposed to. Let's stop real quick and chat with you guys. Let's see. Glenn only has to worry about it changing twice a year. Oh, I see. That's what Kyle was saying. He only has to worry about the time changing twice a year, not that Jen only wants the class to be twice a year. I see. That makes more sense. Sundays at 5 p.m. work over here. Yeah, J.K. Rowling was a guess. Jen says we have a little trouble communicating. I don't think that that's the case. You are the love of my life, and I want to communicate with you all the time. So Mixed Cocktail Hour took a guess at one of my other favorite authors, Dr. Seuss. I do love that guy an awful lot, too. Theodore Seuss Geisel. Rose and Water. My father was done. I think he was done closer to... I think it was done closer to when we had that Zacapa. And yeah, there we go. My dad stopped right after the Zacapa was added. That's some fancy ass salt, says Jen. That is true. Jen buys the salt in our family. Grant giving Jen a quick shout out. Carve from her very famous video game called Monster Hunter. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Seuss was a Dartmouth grad. Glenn is letting us know. My dad was also a Dartmouth grad. Listen, if we're talking colleges, Dartmouth really good. If we're talking about football teams, though, USC should go pro. What is that? I should hand this to Kyle, but I don't know if Kyle will like this. This is going to be, instead of sipping scotch while drinking while reading a drink, this is going to be a good replacement for that. This has been the show on literature. I will be back next Saturday. I do believe. Oh, there's Kyle. Yeah. Don't spill this one, buddy. There we go. Thank you. This has been the literature class. I always love that you guys show up every week. There were a lot of you tonight. I know probably people were a bunch of Kyle stans in here, but I do appreciate everybody showing up every week. As we get all of our schedules back online, I will let you know. But please do check us out. Tammy will be back with me this week, Friday, 5 p.m. On Mix Cocktail Hour, youtube.com/Mix Cocktail Hour. We just got our 500th subscriber today. We are looking for that 1,000 threshold. So I need all of you to subscribe 2 times or get your people to for this show. Please like, subscribe, share. If you can, help out the channel over here on Venmo. That is a great way to do it. Otherwise, you can buy me a shot. PayPal.me/kushtender. Thank you guys. Oh, gosh. Oh, Tammy is reminding me of what we are doing next week on Mixed Cocktail Hour. This is an 80s theme. We are doing an 80s theme on... Oh, dang, I forgot all about that. So, yeah, if you guys want to see an 80s theme, Mixed Cocktail Hour, YouTube, 5 p.m. California time. Tammy and I promise to dress up. Last time I didn't dress up. I promise I will dress up. That. Thank you guys so very much. Rich calling for the parachute pants. Thank you, Rich. I will see if my parachute pants still fit me. Oh, Abby Taylor, really liking the vanilla rose water. God bless you, vanilla rose water. I think that is a great drink too, Abby. Thank you I appreciate that. I will just keep talking. So thank you guys so much. Much love, really much love. And I will, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.